Afternoon, everybody. Dave Begley here, and welcome to the First National Bank and Trust Reds Media Caravan radio event. We are live in the studio here. We have Mike Tarter, our president here at Fork Broadcasting, and also in the studio with us right now, the great Marty Brenneman, the voice of the Reds. I want to thank our sponsors for bringing our broadcast to Cool Gold 96.7, AM 1400, Classic Country, The Wolf, Gambrel Toyota, LaDonna's Catering, Fork Bank, Manchester Memorial Hospital, Western and Southern Life, Phil Smith Agent, London Laurel County Tourism, Tincher Williams, Fine New Roads, Cumberland Memorial Gardens and Mausoleum. We also have First Financial Credit, Judy Phelps Insurance, and the folks out at London Auto Truck.
And Dave also broadcasting today on 103.9 The Bulldog and CBS Sports Radio AM 920 WTCW in Whitesburg. And the coverage there presented in part by Letcher County, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Highway 15 North, just outside of Whitesburg. Agent Mark Wright and his staff invite you in. Cardinal Automotive, 101 Cardinal Drive in Hazard, or see cardinalgm.com. And McDonald's of Whitesburg and Hazard, with a brand new location on Highway 15 bypass in Hazard. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Now let's talk some baseball with the Hall of Famer Marty Brenneman. Marty, again, welcome to London and our broadcast today. And the Caravan means baseball is coming soon.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, it's this is a big event. This is for me. This is a kickoff to another baseball season. Even though we've got spring training coming up next month, this is a thing that really gets people zeroed in on baseball. The Super Bowl a week from Sunday, and then when that's over with, then we really begin to get in the foxholes and start to grind it out.
Spring training on the way, lots to be decided, a lot of activity in the offseason. The pitching staff, I guess, starting rotation, we can start there because a lot of question marks there.
Well, yeah, you're right. They traded Matt Latos to Miami and Alfredo Simon to the Detroit Tigers. But I think they're going to be fine. They've got enough depth in their pitching. They've got a lot of candidates for those two open spots in the rotation to join Johnny Cueto and Homer Bailey and Mike Leake. I think the starting pitching will be good. The bullpen needs vast improvement, and I think that will happen. I'm a big fan of J.J. Hoover, who you guys will probably talk to a little bit later. He's on this part of the Caravan, and he had as bad a year as a relief pitcher can possibly have last year. He lost 10 games and gave up a lot of home runs. I think he's going to bounce back and have a great year in 2015. And, when you got a bullpen and the back end of it's anchored by a guy named Aroldis Chapman, you got a chance to be pretty good if you can get those people in front of him to get him the lead. So I'm really not overly concerned that much about the pitching. I think the pitching will favorably work itself out.
You spoke the other day at the Caravan kickoff, and that was about Marlon Byrd and coming to the Reds as a left fielder. You like that move? I
really like the move. Kid Walt Jocka said it took you long enough to get something done, and everybody all went along. The first question, and I go to Kroger, I go here, I go there, and the first thing they want to know is who's going to play left field. He got a guy, even though he's 37, has a great body, takes care of himself, is a great leader in the clubhouse as well as on the field. And even though he struck out 80-some times last year, I think that he understands that's got to be corrected. And I think it will be. I don't think he'll strike out that much in 2015. But from a number standpoint, if he can do for us what he did for them last year, and that's hit 25 home runs and drive in about 86 runs, the black hole that was left field for the Reds in 2014 will no more be that way. And then he will fit in very well, and I think Walt did a great job in acquiring his services.
We just talked about, of course, injuries last year with Votto and Bruce, and you had Brian Pena wind up playing a lot of first base, and Frazier moving over. The bench strength's going to be a little different this year.
Yeah, I think so. And again, it all boils down to keeping people healthy. Brian Pena and I were talking yesterday when he was traded over here prior to last year. The last thing he ever anticipated doing was playing as much as he played. But when Votto went down, now they had to have somebody go over there and play first base, which he did a ton of and did a sensational job defensively. I think he's going to be more of a legitimate backup catcher to Devin Mesoraco in 2015, which means that his bat will be coming off the bench a lot with the ability to break a game open with a home run. Christopher Negron, who got a lot of playing time with his club last year, a young man who, when the season started, was not even on the Reds' radar. He knocked around the system for a lot of years, but he got an opportunity to come up because of injury and play a lot of positions and did very well. He's another kid that has home run power. So I think the bench, the makeup of the bench, there will be new people, I think, on the bench, some people that weren't here last year. And hopefully it'll be a more productive bench, which I think it's very important for a team that has legitimate aspirations of being in the postseason. You've got to have people who can come off the bench and will perform for you when you need them. And hopefully this will be the year when the Reds have that kind of productivity on them.
The guy that got switched around a little bit because of injury, and Todd Frazier, magnificent year. Really going to be a solid third baseman for years to come.
Oh, I don't think there's any question. He's another guy who has great leadership abilities. I think he's just scratched the surface as to what kind of player he can be. And you know, the youthful foundation of this team basically embraces three players, Frazier being one, Mesoraco being another one, and Billy Hamilton in center field being the third. I think Mesoraco's just scratched the surface. He's without a doubt going to be the greatest catcher this organization has had since Johnny Bench was back at the plate. And that's a long time ago. We've had guys that had good years as catchers, but nobody to come in and consistently do it over a period of years. And I think Mesoraco's got that opportunity. In Billy Hamilton's case, he was dynamic at times last year. I think the season for him was maybe 1 month too long, because like so many other kids that come out of the minor leagues, their season lasts from April through August. And when you add another month onto it, sometimes it affects guys in different ways. And I really believe Billy ran out of gas in September. But I think I have no less of a strong opinion that he's going to be a sensational player for this club for a lot of years.
One person we've talked about, and certainly is key to this club, is Joey Votto, and from all indications, he's healthy.
Well, he's healthy. I think the question about Joey Votto is Joey Votto going to be the Joey Votto of 2010 and 2011, one of which in those years he was MVP in the league, or is he going to be a Joey Votto that is more interested in leading the league in on-base percentage and bases on balls? If he's going to do that, then this club has got a problem. They've got to have Joey Votto hit home runs and drive in runs, and I hope Joey Votto realizes that that's what he's got to do to give this club the maximum opportunity of being a postseason team.
Already the Central Division, a lot of activity in the offseason. You hear a lot about the Cubs and are they back or whatever, but St. Louis, solid as can be. Milwaukee's made some moves. It's a tough division.
Mike, it might be the best division in baseball. I saw where Anthony Rizzo, the Cubs first baseman, I guess he kind of lost his mind the other day when he said we'll win the Central Division. That's all well and good. That's nice to say that. But for a team that's been as bad as it's been for as long as it's been, and they've made great moves to improve themselves on paper. There's no question about that. But I think if they're as good as they think they are, then that means there are 5 teams that begin the year in a 5-team division with a legitimate expectation of, if things go right, making the postseason. I don't think there's another group of teams in any division and anywhere else in Major League Baseball that can make that claim. So I think it's potentially going into the year, it'll be the best division in Major League Baseball.
Marty, before I let you go, talk about the All-Star game in Cincinnati. You've been there when it's come to town. What does it mean to the club? Certainly the city. The economic impact is without question, but what does that mean to the Reds?
Well, it's hard to put into words, Mike. From an economic standpoint, it's amazing, the millions of dollars that it means to the economy of Cincinnati and to the region. And it also is going to be an all-star game that will be as different as night from day, going back to 1988, which is the last time the Reds and Cincinnati hosted the game. It's an entirely different event now. Back then, there was no fan fest. There was no futures game of the great minor league players in the country that will be staged on Sunday night. There was no celebrity softball game that will be played in the afternoon on Sunday. There was no home run derby. Now it's become something that I don't know that 25 or 30 years ago anybody ever dreamed it would be this big. And it's really going to be exciting. The Reds folks that are working diligently on this thing are going with the intention of making it the greatest event sporting-wise in the history of that city, transcending all sports. And it's really going to be something. It truly will be a great 5 or 6 days with all the events that are going to go into leading up to the All-Star game on that Tuesday night.
Final comment on this season. What do you think the keys to a great year are? Health has to be one of them.
Well, obviously pitching is one, and the health thereof of everybody. But again, my two important people are Joey Votto and Jay Bruce have got to come back and have good years. If one does, that's fine. If both of them do, it just enhances this club's chances of even more being in the postseason. But both of these guys have got to have good years if this club is going to be a major player in the division.
Marty, it's always an honor and a pleasure, and appreciate you coming in today, and look forward to the season.
Well, we do too, Mike, and we want to thank you and all of the folks here for the great work you all do for us down here in this part of the state of Kentucky. You guys do a great job, and we're thrilled to have you as a part of the network.
Thank you very much. The Hall of Famer, Marty Brennan. Dave?
Thank you, Mike. And again, we want to mention some of our sponsors making our broadcast possible today. We have, of course, First National Bank and Trust, also Gambrill Toyota, LaDonna's Catering, Fork Bank, Western and Southern Life, Phil Smith, agent, Manchester Memorial Hospital, London, Laurel County Tourism, First Financial Credit, Judy Phelps Insurance, London Auto Truck. Those guys, we appreciate them for making this all possible today. We'll come back, and Mike and I will be talking with some more folks as the hour goes along, so keep it right here. And welcome back to our broadcast of the First National Bank and Trust Reds Media Caravan. Cincinnati Reds, so we got some major players who have come into town, and we just talked to Marty Brenneman, and Mike and I are just thrilled to be talking to these guys. Hey, we have JJ in the studio with us now, Mike.
And JJ Hoover, of course, relief pitcher for the Reds. And Marty, a minute ago, JJ, first of all, welcome to London, and thanks for being with us this afternoon. We appreciate it very much.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's awesome to be here.
Marty was talking about, no question, tough season for you last year, but you persevered, working hard in the off season, and he really sees a lot of bright things ahead for you, and you could see that in the way you worked last year. Tough seasons happen to everybody, and apparently you shaking that off and moving forward.
Yeah, you have to. Last year's history, and it's all about moving forward and trying to put together a good year this year.
Are there specific things, maybe this off season as opposed to previous off seasons as you were coming up as a big league player, that you've worked on here in the off year?
Last off season I wasn't able to get in a good routine. I don't think this year has been a completely different story. I feel like my off season workouts went perfectly this year. I'm right where I want to be. I got back into yoga to work on my flexibility and balance. Been definitely on top of my pitching drills, and I'm really excited to see the culmination of all the work.
How is it as a reliever? I know sometimes you don't know you're going to get the call, or sometimes you realize, I'm going to be in this game if X happens. To get your mind ready to go in, and you're not often in unless the situation, it's a bad jam, and they're going to call you to try to quell it and stem the tide.
That's just part of the job, and it becomes second nature almost. And then you can kind of feel the ebb and flow of the game on who's going to probably be called, and like if we're up by 2 or 3 runs in the ninth, I know my name's not being called. The missile's coming in. So
exactly.
There's certain situations like that where it's probably not going to be you.
Yeah. As a pitcher growing up, did you want to be a reliever? Did you want to be that closer? Did you want to be the starter, or did you have someone else in mind?
Oh, I had starting in mind growing up, and I did in the minors. I felt I never really had an opportunity to do it in the majors, but it's all about what the team needs you to do job-wise to help them. And so, the Reds traded from me from the Braves, and they needed relieving depth, and they gave me an opportunity, and I'm very blessed that they gave me that opportunity.
Off-season's been one of certain change, and no question about that, certainly in the starting rotation, but still looking, the bullpen obviously needing some help, but things are going on there as well, but are really going to be a good, strong ball club going into spring training.
I think it's going to be a good club. The baseball's always evolving. You never have the same team every year, just about, and I'm excited with the club that we do have.
Expect a lot of competition in spring training. A lot of positions certainly are set, but there are guys coming back from injury. Marlon Bird's come in; he's brand new, so there'll be a lot of activity in the camp.
Oh, there should be, and there's a couple spots up for grabs, and it always makes for an interesting spring.
When you pitch at Great American, and sometimes it's getting a reputation, and balls do fly out of there in occasion. No question about it. Is it a tougher place to pitch for you, or is it one because it's home and you're there 81 games out of the season that you don't think about that?
I don't really think about it. I really enjoy pitching in front of the home crowd. Having the support of the fans behind you is definitely better than any misnomer about smaller fences or balls flying out. You can't have that kind of thought that, you can't be too fine, and I love pitching in Cincinnati.
Very good. Hopefully we'll see Jay Bruce come back healthy, certainly Joey Votto back healthy. Again, talk about the strength of this ball club, and getting those guys back in full strength can really help this team win a lot of games.
Absolutely, and I think this could be a bounce back year for a lot of people. I need to bounce back and have a better year, and I think a lot of guys aren't happy with what they did last year, and I think that's going to be, it could lead to some really exciting baseball for us.
And I guess I would imagine one of your goals of the All-Star game in Cincinnati at home, you'd like to be in that lineup on the night, would you not, on July the 15th?
That'd be pretty cool, but I'll let the game take its course.
There you go. Get the fans voting out strong. We'll get the campaign going now to get you in that lineup on July 15th. And what a night, what a week that's going to be for
great for
Cincinnati.
Yeah, it will. It'll be awesome.
I know that'll be a neat thing. Again, keys to this season, as you see, personally as well as the ball club.
Obviously, our goal is to go deep into October and eventually win the World Series. And personally, I just want to bounce back and have a season that I know I'm capable of having, like I've done in the past, and just get back to that form.
JJ, we appreciate it. Wish you all of the success in the world. Good luck for the spring training and the regular season. And again, wish you all the success in the world.
Thanks so much.
JJ Hoover.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Well, once again, let's mention some of our sponsors on the broadcast. We have, of course, First National Bank and Trust, Gambrill Toyota, LaDonna's Catering, Fork Bank, Manchester Memorial Hospital, Western and Southern Life, Phil Smith, agent, London Laurel County Tourism. We have First Financial Credit, Judy Phelps, and London Auto Truck. Appreciate those guys. Also, Tincher Williams, Fine New Roads in Cumberland, Memorial Gardens, and Mausoleum. Mike.
And Dave, also 103.9 The Bulldog and CBS Sports Radio, AM 920, WTCW in Whitesburg on the air today. And we appreciate the coverage there from the folks such as Appalachian Wireless, better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless. Also, Superior Drug Center inside Food City in West Whitesburg. Pharmacist William Hall and his staff welcome you in. And again, your home for Reds baseball in the mountains once again this season. CBS Sports Radio, AM 920, WTCW.
We'll take a short break. We'll come back with more of our Reds Media Caravan right here on Cool Gold 96.7, AM 1400. Classic Country, The Wolf. Welcome back to our First National Bank and Trust Reds Media Caravan. Cool Gold 96.7 and AM 1400 Classic Country, The Wolf. And I'm Dave Begley along with Mike Tarter, and joining us in the studio right now, Brian Pena.
Brian, welcome to London, and we appreciate your time this afternoon.
Thanks guys for having me. I mean, I'm blessed to be here, to be honest with you guys. I'm from Cuba, but I love country music. I play a lot of time, with Kansas City and with the Brave, and they really introduced me to country music, and I love it because I love the message behind it. I love the lyrics, and stuff like that. So a lot of people are surprised because in Cuba it's all about salsa.
I would imagine so,
But
yeah.
I really do. But thanks, guys, for having me.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, I know a year last year that you got maybe a lot more playing time than you may have anticipated. Joey Votto going out, and you saw a lot of action at first base last year as well as certainly behind the plate and backing up Devin. And so you go into spring training this year, I guess, you know, the sky's the limit. You don't know what might happen.
Well, to be honest with you, I appreciate so much the opportunity that Brian Price gave me, you know, but especially the Reds front office, because they really believe in me, you know, and giving me a 2-year deal, and I really appreciate that, and I'm very thankful, you know. But I'm a trooper, you know. I go out there and I put my team first, and then me, and then my team again, and my team again, and then me. It's all about you know, being a great teammate, and it's all about to help your team to win, you know, to help your team to achieve our goal, and that's winning the World Series. Last year we were short. I actually a lot shorter, you know, but everybody knows that. I don't want to put excuses, you know, but everybody knows that it was a very tough year for us because a lot of our key players they went down, and you know, Brian Price, you know, gave me the opportunity to play first baseman, and I didn't want to disappoint him, you know. I actually play you know, first baseman last year, and actually it was my first year that I played, you know, first baseman in the big league. And it feels good, you know. After the game, you know, I was kind of feeling comfortable every time.